All right, news talk with Brandon and Bob, and I want to touch on really huge news in the YouTube and streaming worlds, and that, of course, is Joe Rogan signing the big money contract. They claim it's at least $100 million to hop over to an exclusive deal on Spotify. Spotify stock went up so much. They claim that they have already made in the neighborhood of like $5 billion of like stock value by spending $100 million on Rogan. First off, you can get Spotify for free, people, if you can tolerate ads. So it's not like he goes away completely. What do you think about, as someone that's been doing YouTube for a while? What do you think about the landscape of having sort of like that almost like a vacuum, like it creates this massive person? I mean, some of these videos have 10, 12, 15 million views. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah. I think it's a great investment for Spotify, and they are getting ready to roll out a video platform too.
Sure.
So that's going to fit into Rogan's wheelhouse. And I think this is going to maybe open up the door for more people like Rogan. If Spotify sees a lot of success, because they're going to be taken from Apple, they're going to be taken from YouTube, because this is exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Exclusive is the way to go nowadays.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see other big names do similar stuff. Is it a slap in the face of YouTube? Maybe. They never censored Rogan, but that doesn't mean it wasn't possible.
But it's just frustrating that YouTube has become so complicated with rules. Like, so for me, one of the big hurdles that I got, it took the wind out of my sails because I was getting so frustrated. Like every single video, I was dealing with a copyright claim. When I'm following the rules that they gave me, then you have to go through a dispute process. Meanwhile, your videos, they're getting views, and they're saying, well, you're not going to get any money. You're getting demonetized during that whole time. They don't put it back, and then you'll have copyright claims that you just don't win for no reason. And it makes no sense. And you've gone through this tremendously over the last few months.
Yeah, when the whole coronavirus thing started, they were fine. And I don't know, maybe I wasn't, but one of the first people that were doing regular shows about coronavirus back in January.
Yeah.
I actually interviewed somebody the first time on January 10th, so I was kind of ahead of the game. Then a month and a half later, all of a sudden, everything was demonetized. And that was the rule. They sent out a little disclaimer saying everything that's COVID or coronavirus, they were not going to monetize. So it kind of took the wind out of your sails. So you just would stop doing content. Then out of nowhere, a few weeks ago, they started monetizing it again. But all the stuff that was demonetized
stayed demonetized.
Yeah, and they were also dinging me on anything that had virus in the title, all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, you were saying things like SARS and MERS and things that date back forever. I mean, stuff that dates back years.
Yeah, so
they would take.
It was brutal.
Do you think where do you think YouTube is on censoring? Because my big thing is I don't know what the rules are. That's my big concern.
Well, nobody does. Now, I mean, clearly, don't have the pull that Rogan has. Apparently, when Rogan, this is what I heard, when Rogan interviewed Alex Jones.
Yeah, I heard that story. Yep.
He called YouTube and said,
"This is coming.
Yeah.
You've banned Alex Jones. I know he's controversial.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't support him. I'm going to have him on my show, letting you know, so we can be monetized." And they monetized that.
Yeah.
That is to me a huge sign of their hypocrisy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they've been doing a lot of disservice to the original people, right?
Could you imagine if Jones signs on with Spotify too? We should buy Spotify.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We should buy Spotify stock.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Even if it was like $50 million, they're going to make so much money from these crazy people going over there because they love that guy. They love the antics and that and it's, I find it, what little bit of Alex Jones I can tolerate, I find it hysterical. Remember like George Norrie and those kind of shows that used to be the alien shows?
The Overnight Show.
Yeah. Remember those kind of shows?
Yeah.
That's exactly how Alex Jones to me. It's like, he comes up with some take, and it's always about how extreme I can get. I can feel him in a room, like he takes a story, like, that's not extreme enough. Rewrite it. Give me, it's like, give me something else. And it's like, I could see that. I could see him dropping millions of dollars to get this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility because there's a market for that. I do wonder how other YouTube creators are looking at this, though, like, say Tim Pool or whoever. Do they see this as an opening to grow their channel?
Well, they've said as much. I've heard Tim
Yeah.
Pool talk about it on one of his shows, that it was kind of looks like that as an option. Because his theory is that, just stay the course and do what he's doing, because there's a pool of money. And if they cut it off over here, it has to go somewhere, so it might as well go to me. And his name has gotten big enough now that if you just, have stories about him, you'll get traffic just because he's that big in that circle now.
And somebody like Crowder, whose YouTube is just
Yeah. I think
bashed.
Steven Crowder's another. PewDiePie is a huge name. I think that
I think they just gave him some big contract.
YouTube did?
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
because he's the biggest one.
think so, yeah.
I think he's the biggest YouTuber as far as like number of subscribers and stuff like that. But he says all sorts of crazy things from time to time.
Watch him.
But the context is it's always taken out of context. So he'll have Nazi Hitler stuff, but his point is he's trying to delineate from what real issues are and people that are saying it's something else. I actually find him relatively entertaining, but it's very profane, and it's not nearly as interesting as Rogan as far as a show goes. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens. YouTube's going to have to. I mean, I think that YouTube is sold out to the corporations.
Oh, you could just
CNN, MSNBC, Fox.
Yeah, you search it just about anything, and you have all these big networks, and it's squeezed out the creators that got them there.
Yeah, I mean, if I put on a Tim Pool or a Crowder or a David Pakman or whoever,
Yeah.
sure enough, if you have it on autoplay, it's going to go to Fox, CNN, or MSNBC as the next video, and won't go to another one of their videos. Sometimes it'll go to Rogan too.
If I go to Jimmy Dore and he's covering, like when he was covering Bernie Sanders, the next Bernie Sanders video it will play will always be from the mainstream. It will never give me another Jimmy Dore video, because I'm trying to look at someone who's completely different than me. He'll be pro Bernie. It'll immediately clip to one of those major networks about Bernie. Would never ever give another Jimmy Dore. He's getting totally jacked by YouTube. I'm sure he knows that.
Oh yeah, they all do.
Yeah.
And they're all talking about it, but that's the platform they have right now.
So, what platforms are there? Do you think is it just wait and see at this point for Spotify? Do you think there's other outlets? Do you think there's any chance of these other things really catching on anytime soon? What do you think?
Probably not in the near future. I do wonder what Apple's thinking right now, because Rogan gets how many millions of downloads. I mean, if you go on what used to be iTunes or Apple Podcasts now, it always has like the top 10, and he's always at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's millions of downloads a day for sure.
Yeah.
So
He just did an interview with Kevin Hart, and it went up on YouTube 1.5 million views in one day. Because I only got through like a little bit, so I went to watch it again, and I noticed that the view count in just probably less than 24 hours, it was 1.5 million in just that one video in just that short amount of time.
yeah. Other than Spotify right now, I just don't know what other avenues there are out there. If you're a big name, you're hoping for a Spotify contract, though, I imagine.
Well, anything, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you said that some of the coronavirus and COVID stuff that you're running through, demonetization has gotten better and has stopped. Like they're letting videos through now.
And they put out a message saying we're
good
not
now?
demonetizing. I don't know if that came down from the CDC or the World Health Organization,
Right.
because they were probably I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They were probably trying to prevent bogus information, but who are they to judge?
What other topics have you run into a lot of that with? Like, if I do this topic, I know I'm pretty much going to have a monetization discussion with them. Vaccines?
No demonetization with vaccines. However, there is the little thing under.
Oh, they do a disclaimer?
Yeah.
Here comes the disclaimer.
Yeah.
That's
So-
that's my code for there's going to be a disclaimer, folks. Just so you know, I do that a lot.
Now, I've never been an anti-vaxxer, so I don't do anything like that. But anything that has vaccine title, content, keywords or whatever.
But we had one recently where it was like something, maybe it was about COVID because it was about Russia or something, and they were like questioning about it can be monetized after all or something. Maybe.
Yeah, it was the COVID one.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, who knows? I can't win with YouTube. Hopefully I can win now with this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Probably not. We're discussing topics that they're not going to be happy
It's
about.
a struggle, but
My first round with this, and you know the story, so I'll share the story with you guys so you guys know. The first round for us for demonetization was back on Dispatch, and I did an interview with one of these. She's basically a Catholic leader in the pro-life thing. They were at the March of Life promoting adoption. I did an interview with this lady. It had like 10,000 views in the first day, and then it got demonetized. And I went round and round about why. And the closest thing we got to an answer was because we had discussed it being an alternative to abortion. And about the second or third sentence in, never discuss that again. That was valid reason for them, I guess, to demonetize that video.
Yeah.
And it happened again during Trump's run in, I don't know, time frame, but I did a joke segment with our friend Alex Snicker. We were just having like a joke segment about like name adjectives for Trump, and it really wasn't, either one of us were pro-Trump and neither one of us were bashing Trump. It was just back and forth. Mm-hmm. And it got demonetized within like 4 minutes. And it got up and then bam.
What did y'all say?
It was like going back and forth. I think we said like influential, bombastic, weird hair.
Oh, okay.
It was one of my funny segments. Like name 10 words that pop into your head about Florida. I do it all the time. I do crazy, I love games. Mm-hmm. 4 minutes. Trump didn't even make us a penny, man. We got demonetized in the first couple minutes.
No explanation ever.
No, the dispatch itself has been completely blocked. I still will find old videos. I'm like, maybe if I delete this one, maybe if I delete. they never tell you anything. No. You don't know. And the rules have changed so much. I wouldn't even know where to begin. We have thousands of video. We have so much stuff that dates back to 2012, 2013. We were doing radio back then.
Yeah. The thing that's really bad about that is, what if that was our living?
Oh, yeah. You and I've long discussed that the Google does not like you making a living off of
that would just be horrible. I mean, if you were actually making a living on this, we'd have to start a mug club?
Well, and we are definitely the casualties of them doing things to other people. Yeah. Like the way they approached Steven Crowder, about that time was when the dispatch really got hit. So whatever algorithm change they did to him and his content, it was affecting us. And we see that with the COVID thing. They're trying to address this situation. We're just casualties, of the same kind of thing. So, yeah. So we'll see. I think we just decided, we're going to do this show. We're going to do our thing, and we'll see. YouTube's one option. We'll put it on some other stuff, let you decide how to help navigate that out there for you guys. Maybe you just let us know. Put a comment in. Please put it on this kind of thing. Put it on this one. This is the one I use. We've had experience with Stitcher and iTunes. You've done a lot of that kind of work, so I think people can expect that.
If there's any topics you would like us to talk about, also let us know about that below, too, because we like to talk about a lot of things.
Yeah, talk a lot. A couple OGs talking all sorts of nonsense. So.